that go?
You know, I've known Coach for double-digit years. I don't know how many that would be, but double-digit years, and he's been kind of a mentor in some ways in terms of coaching. I would bounce things off of him when I was younger in the business. He got started a little before I did, and he was always welcoming when it came to, hey, Corn, hit me with this, or ask me if you need it, and he and Coach Painter both, because that's when I met him back when he was with Coach Painter. So I would say double-digit years, and he's just a good man to talk to in the business. Then if you take the business out, he's just a good man to talk to. He's a very good father, he's a very good husband, and those type of deals. So you can go at him and ask him questions about a number of things and get great feedback. When you talk to him, he'll give you great feedback. And he'll elaborate in terms of why he's saying or helping you and why and how he's helping.
Coach, your time at Iowa State, what kind of stood out about your experience there? How can that, being a high major like that, help in a job like this?
Well, I do remember when Coach Hoiberg got to Iowa State. I was not with him his first year. I was with him his second year, in which we, I think it was the best 4 years in 108-year history. And the thing that stood out to me for that particular job was Coach Hoiberg was an NBA guy that hadn't had real coaching experience other than the 1 year. And so he allowed me to have an impact in terms of practice plan, practice structure, and things like that. Now, I think the thing that I can help Coach with here because of that experience is I think Coach wants myself and Chris to handle some of the offense, a good portion of that. And Fred, in my eyes, was a very I don't necessarily want to say genius, but very close to genius in terms of how he handled offense. And it will be NBA-esque offense, but the thing about it is Coach Martin wants those guys to be able to go out and play and not look to the sideline throughout. And that's how it was at Iowa State, where Coach Hoiberg would get guys the way to play, the flow is the terminology used, and let those guys go out and play without looking over their shoulder, but understanding the game and what Coach Martin wants without having to ask.
Sure.
And with the guys that we have right now, we have good enough players to go out and handle that without a problem.
Can you elaborate all about what kind of offense? You mentioned
NBA-esque offense. So when you use NBA terminology, okay, for example, when I always wondered this myself, when you have a guy go from one team in the NBA to another team, he'll play that very next game, right? Well, how do we play the very next game? Because the terminology that they use is universal. And so if it's a drag screen for the Pistons, it's a drag screen for the Mavericks. And so terminology is very important. And not only that, but spacing, to be able to play with space and use the spacing in order to take advantage of mismatches, because that's what the NBA is, and that's what Coach wants to do. He wants to allow guys to play, use their talents, their particular talents to play, and play in spacing and with spacing, and keep the ball on the move, quick hitting. I don't even want to call them sets, but quick hitting actions into more of a default type offense. But we're all new. He'll make sure he tweak and structure it the way he wants it. But basically, I think for right now, I think it's fair to say that.
You've seen a little bit of returning players with kind of some early impressions of this group.
I don't think it's fair for me to comment on that. That wouldn't be fair. But I will say that so far, those guys, we had one workout, and those guys came in with a hunger and a feel for wanting more. And I commend them on how hard they went in one workout. And if that's the level, which that's the only level that will be accepted, then we will have a fun time, and the fans will enjoy watching these guys play, because just in that one workout again, they poured it out. They poured it all out, and it was after they had already been in the weight room.
Your background is from Michigan. In the recruiting standpoint, does he want you to focus more on Michigan, or is it just you're all national recruiters?
Well, I mean, my career has been, I would say, a good portion Michigan, obviously, because I'm from Michigan, but I've recruited nationally. I've recruited a lot in Illinois. I've recruited a good bit in Ohio. I've recruited Canada. I think what Coach wants is the best players he can get. Obviously, he wants to make sure that it's very important to him that Missouri, St. Louis, East St. Louis, those areas that are near and dear to University of Missouri is very important, and he will, I mean, he's talked to us about it. It's very important, and we will make sure that we reach out and stay in touch and keep it important.
What are some of the things that you share?
Coach, how do you think that you can use like the way like a lot of the frat house and stuff at the banners and stuff as far as using that in recruiting, like in future visits? How do you
I was as surprised as anybody else to see that, and that's not anything that's orchestrated, but it's awesome that it happened. And so I would hope that the fans and the student body continue to make themselves a part of it, because that's exactly what happened. They made themselves a part of it, and of course it's appreciated. So we'd like to see more of it, but that's not something that we have talked to anybody about or anything like that.
Well, I meant more as far as like using it as when you're going out to recruit, saying, "Hey, this is the kind of fan base that we have," type thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I think it'll be very evident. We'll be able to show them, and it'll be easy to show them, because I do think there's a lot of excitement right now, and Stevie Wonder can see how much excitement is going on around here. So, we'll be able to show that easily, and not only us to show it, but I think when people begin to look up on the internet, look up on the websites, then all of a sudden they'll pick it up themselves. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed in terms of the fan support, and just whenever you ride around or walk around, the excitement that's generated right now and the buzz that's going on. And this university, obviously I played at the University of Colorado, so I played here before. And I worked at Iowa State, so I coached here before, but I never had been here and walked across campus and went into restaurants and that, and I'm very impressed. I mean, I've texted and I've called a bunch of people just in my personal life and talked about how awesome it is around here, how beautiful the buildings are, how manicured the grass and everything is. And you go into some buildings like the rec center. You go in a rec center and it's look like a vacation spot, And so I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome, and I think that's a credit to the university and how they feel about the students, let alone the student athletes, but how they feel about the students and how they want them to feel on an everyday basis at this university.
Can you bring another